morning, dear students. Welcome to our Jnanjyoti online classes. So today we will discuss about the fourth, or it is the last chapter of our history book, and the chapter name is what? The making of what? Global world. The chapter name is what? The making of global world. We have already discussed about globalization in our previous standard. Okay, so in this chapter we will discuss about globalization and how through globalization the countries or the nations are interrelated or depend on each other, and finally what through the globalization process they are able to make a global world, or economically they are connected to each other as well as technologically through the culture, through the ideas. The countries, the nations, or the people of the nations, they are connected to each other. In this chapter we will discuss about the condition of 19th century, okay, pre-modern world. After that, what in this chapter we will more discuss about how the Silk routes were found. After that, how spaghetti or the noodles, after that potatoes, okay, how this product are spread all over the world, okay, from the origin places. After that, how the people of European nations, they are trying to conquest all over the world through the disease, okay, through disease like Rinderpest. So let's start the chapter from the topic globalization. That globalization is an economic system, okay, listen carefully, that globalization is an economic system associated with the free movement of goods, okay. There were no barriers or obstacles in the movement of goods. After that, technology, idea and people across the globe, or you can write here across the world. So basically globalization is an economic process or economic system. Like if you are an educated person, then you will find a job in other nations, then you will go to the nations and settle there. Just like that, the people, the foreigners, they are also work in India, and we are connected to other nations with import and export of goods. Okay, just like that, we are nowadays mostly with the Indian people are followed the Western cultures. Okay, so these are the, you can say, movement of goods. Then about sharing of technology, sharing of idea. After that, sharing of cultural aspect, okay, across the world. That's why we are connected to other nations, people, and this system is known as globalization. Okay. After that, let us discuss about the pre-modern world, or the you can say before modern world period. Okay, in this chapter we will discuss about Silk Route, food travels, conquest, disease and trade. So listen carefully that how the Silk Route, or you can say a way find out by the people to you can say to import and export the goods. So there are several Silk routes over land and by sea, knitting together vast regions of Asia and linking Asia with Europe and Northern Africa. So through the Silk Route, okay, through the Silk Route, Asia, then Europe, Africa, these continents were, you can say, related to each other. Okay, and you can say that why did these routes were called as Silk Route? Because the silk product were mostly you can say sharing, this continent were sharing with each other, and these were the only way to free movement of goods between the or among the nations. Okay, so why did they were named as this way as Silk Road? That the famous Chinese silk cargoes used to travel through these routes. Okay. Okay, that's why the people of that you can say period what named the road or named the way as Silk Route. Okay, through the Silk Route what food travels like spaghetti or you can say noodles and potato. So noodles traveled west from China to become spaghetti. Okay, so food travels like spaghetti what or you can say noodles travel from China to all over the world. So common foods such as potatoes, soya, groundnuts, maize, tomatoes, chilies, sweet potatoes were only what introduced in Europe and Asia after Christopher Columbus discovered America. So common foods like what potatoes, soya, groundnuts, maize, tomatoes, chilies, then sweet potatoes. Okay, this product or you can say this food grains were only introduced in Europe and Asia after Christopher Columbus discovered America. Okay, so through the Silk Route, this type of food travel, what food also travel to different, you can say different corner of the world. Okay, then conquest, disease, and trade. Mainly the European traders, okay, their ambition or you can say their aim or man and what conquest over a land or conquest over a territory. How? Through the disease and trade. How? Through the disease and trade. Okay. So precious metals from mines of Peru and Mexico enhance European trade with Asia. The Spanish conquerors used the germs of smallpox in the conquest of America. So the Spanish traders, okay, they were conquerors used the germs of smallpox in the conquest of America. Then until well into the 18th century, China and India were among the world's richest countries. Into the 18th century, China and you can say India were the world's richest nations or country. Until the 19th century, poverty and hunger were common in Europe. How? Poverty, the poor people, or the number of poor people or unemployed people, okay, that were rapidly grown up in Europe in 19th century. Okay, so let's discuss about what the 19th century, what was the condition of 19th century in Europe. In the late 19th century, growth in the population increased the demand food grains in Britain, in you can say Europe. What the increase in the number of population, or you can say the population exploited in Europe, and this population growth what demand the high food grains in Britain. The imported food into Britain more cheaply than it could be produced within the country. So industrial growth took place in Britain, which led to higher incomes, meaning more food imports. Okay, so through the industrialization process, okay, the Britishers or the you can say the people of Britain tried to produce more food grains for fulfill their demands of food. Okay, then it was transported by railway and by ships. What the food grains was transported by railways and by ships through the waterways. Food is only an example. Product such as cotton, then rubber, coal also had some what fat. Okay, you can say food is only an example. What after you can say food grains, the product such as cotton, rubber, coal also had some what fat. They were you can say imported to their nations. Okay, so in this field, what the technologies, okay, the technologies were played an important role in that you can say event, that the railways, then steamships, the telegraph, were important inventions that transformed 19th century world through the technology. And remember, first thing, that through the technology, okay, the nations were able to connect it with each other, like the technology like railways, then steamships, then telegraph. Okay, these are the important inventions which are mostly discovered in what? European continent. Then after the introduction of new technology, namely refrigerator, ships animals were slaughtered for food at the starting point and then transported to Europe as frozen meat. After the, you can say, after the inventions of refrigerator, what the Americans, what or the, you can say, the Britons, what they sent the frozen meat through the refrigerator to other nations. Okay. After that, in the late 19th century, the colonialism period was began in Europe. The European conquest of Asia and Africa as colonized, like the Britishers. Okay, they were set up a colony in India. Okay, then the Portuguese. After that, you can say other Spanish. They were also traveled over a country, other nations, and they were tried to conquest over that nations. And also, you can say conquest over nations and set up a colony. You can say business colonies were there. Then Belgium and Germany become new colonial powers. The US become a colonial power in the late 1890s by taking over some colonies earlier held by Spain. Okay, United States you can say in late 19th century. Okay, it was also set up as a colonial power by taking over some colonies earlier held by the Spanish. Okay, so after the rinderpest or the cattle plague, through the rinderpest is a disease fast spreading cattle plague which hit Africa in the last 1880s. Okay, so rinderpest, a cattle plague, what hit Africa, or you can say affected in Africa in late 19th century. It was carried by infected cattle imported from British Asia and destroyed 90% of the livestock. So basically, you can say that what the Britishers, the European colonial power, they were mostly what through the rinderpest, through the cattle plague. Okay, they were tried to conquest over Africa. Okay, then the colonial government what cattle imported from British Asia and destroyed 90% of the livestock. Then the colonial government now strengthened that power and to force Africans into the labor market. Okay, through the rinderpest, what the you can say the Europeans affected the African people. Okay, the African people didn't have any idea or vaccine about you can say about cattle plague or rinderpest. That's why, okay, through the afraid nets, okay, through the afraid nets of African people about rinderpest, about you can say cattle plague, the Europeans colonial power like the Britishers, okay, they were able to, you can say they were able to force the African people to work under them. Okay, then this process what created the indentured labor migration from India. Okay, many, you can say many the European superpowers or colonial power, they were set up their colonies in different nations. That's why they were wanted to took the, you can say took the African people. Okay, because they didn't have any idea about the disease rinderpest or cattle plague, or basically they were economically backward class people. Okay, that's why the European superpowers or colonial power, through the efforts of Rinderpest or you can say cattle plague, they were took the African people to their colonies and forced to work there and forced them to work there. Okay, so some indentured labor or migration people, they were also like you can say for the service, for the work, they were also traveled in different nations. So indentured labor was a bonded labor under contract to work for an employer. So what indentured labor means? A bonded labor. Through a bond, what the indentured you can say indentured labor or the labor who signed the you can say treaty or agreement. Okay, that's why here see you can say it was compulsory for him to work there for a period of time. Okay, then in the 19th century, thousands of Indian and Chinese laborers went to work on plantations, in mines, and in road and railway construction projects around the world. Okay, so by populations, what China and what you can say India nowadays also, these two countries are famous in the world. China, you can say China has the highest population of the world. After that, so in the second number position, our India is stand there. So in 19th century, what from China and from you can say India, many indentured labor, they were traveled over the world and you can say did the work like what in plantations, in railways, they were work there, involved in the work there. After that in mines, then in road and railway department. So recruitment was done by agents by providing what false information about the work and location. So recruitment what of the people who had traveled from China, from India to other nations or across the world. Okay, this was done by agents, by you can say brokers, you can say not agents, it was broker, by providing false information. Okay, about the work and locations. So the you can say through the greediness, the people of India, the people of China, okay, they got you can say false information about the work and location, and they were you can say took up by the broker to that places. Okay, then on arrival at the plantations, laborers found living and working conditions harsh. So you can say that the indigent labor were the suffered class people because they didn't have any idea about the work and they got what false information from the brokers about the work and location. After what they were arrived there, okay, they faced a harsh, you can say a harsh situations, okay, harsh condition, and they had to live in that condition in that places. Okay. Then it was abolished in 1921. Means the indentured labor system, or you can say the bonded labor system. Okay, this was and or abolished in 1921. Okay, so through the globalization process, okay, through the work process, you can say through the Silk routes, through the Rinderpest and cattle plague, the European nations always tried to what dominated the African people as well as the Asian people. Okay, but however through globalization process from the ancient age, you can say from the beginning we were connected to each other. Okay, nowadays what through globalization process, through free movement of goods, imports and exports were technologies, then sharing of ideas, the sharing of cultural events or cultural experts. Nowadays we are also connected to each other. So during 19th century or late 19th century for employment, for job needed, the Chinese people and the Indian people, they were travel across the world for the purpose of work. Okay, many people who were migrated from India for work purposes. Okay, there were some causes influence the people to migrate India to from across the world or all over the world for work purposes. Okay, so let us discuss about the causes behind the migration of Indian indentured workers. So most the workers or people who came from the present day regions of eastern Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, central India and Tamil Nadu. So most of the indentured labor, okay, they were you can say migrated from Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, central India and Tamil Nadu. These regions of India experienced many social changes like cottage industry declined, land rents rose and the lands were cleared for mines and plantations. So in 19th century, indenture described as a new system of slavery. Yes, it was a slavery system in another sentence. So Jose A. Riotius carnival in Trinidad, when workers of all races and religions joined in celebrating. Okay, so you can say a carnival was, you can say, combined or observed in Trinidad when workers of all races, all community, all you can say religions joined in that celebrating. Okay, and you can say that was a slave festival. Then the winter war economy. So during 19th century, okay, the first world war was took place during 19th century, okay, and it was mainly fought in Europe continent. Many European superpowers like Britain, Australia, France, Germany, okay, Belgium, then Russia, this type of superpowers, they were involved in First World War. So during this time, the world experienced economic, political instability and another miserable war. So during First World War, the world faced political imbalance as well as economic instability or economic downfall of economic sector. So the First World War was fought between two powers. One were the Allies, Britain, France, Russia, and later joined the US. After on other opposite side, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Ottoman, and Turkey. So this First World War took place, you can say, between Allies and Germany, Austria, Hungary, Ottoman, and Turkey. Then after the First World War, the technological transformation or you can say the technological development was occurred in Europe. Okay, so many equipment, many machinery equipment, many war weapons were you can say invented by the technological development, by the technological transformation. So first time modern weapons like machine gun, tanks, aircraft, chemical weapons, etc. were used on a massive scale. Millions of soldiers had to be recruited from around the world, and most of them were men of working age, or you can say young age, or you can say young masses. They were mostly joined in First World War. Okay, so you can say a institution was formed, Bretton Woods Institution, to deal with external surpluses and deficits. A conference was held in July 1944 at Bretton Woods in New Hampshire, USA. After you can say in the time of what? Second World War. Okay, the modern technological weapons were used by the soldier, like machine guns, tanks, aircraft, chemical weapons. Okay, so to deal with what? External surpluses and a deficits, a conference was held in July 1944 during, you can say, Second World War at Bretton Woods in New Hampshire, USA. International Monetary Fund or IMF and World Bank WB were set up to finance post-war what? Restructuring. To, you can say, every nations wanted to recover their political conditions as well as, you can say, economic sector through the Bretton Woods institution. So in Bretton Woods, you can say, conference, the European superpowers who were involved in First World War as well as Second World War. Okay, they formed many type of institutions. Okay, and you can say tried to sign the treaty or agreement to maintain peace in the world. Okay, and they were wanted to reconstruct their economic sector as well as political field. That's why through the International Monetary Fund and World Bank what set up to finance post-war restructuring. So the post-war international economic system is known as Bretton Woods system. Okay, this system was based on fixed exchange rates. IMF and WB are referred as Bretton Woods twins. Okay, because International Monetary Fund and, you can say, World Bank, these two institutions was constructed by European superpowers. Okay, and through the, you can say, IMF and World Bank, every nations who were involved in the First and Second World War, they were trying to develop themselves through the political and economical way. And what IMF, International Monetary Fund, and WB provided the financial support to the nations. Okay, that's why these two institutions, what IMF and WB, World Bank, say, you can say, is known as the Bretton Woods twins. So US has an effective right of veto over key IMF and World Bank. Nowadays also USA, United States of America, what has an effective right of veto over key what? International Monetary Fund and World Bank. So you can say what under the USA, what the international organizations like International Monetary Fund and World Bank work under the USA. Okay, so this is all about today's class. Okay, let's take a quick recall of this chapter that we are discussing about what the globalization process, and through globalization process, through Silk Route, how the spaghetti, how potatoes, how the food grains and other materials were traveled to all over the world. Also the European colonial powers, okay, they were through the disease, okay, they were tried to, you can say, they also succeed over another nations through the disease. Okay, through the apprentice of disease, and they were conquest over the different region, different territory of the world. After what, in 19th century, for a huge population, the food grains demand was rapidly high. After that, what you can say, in different nations, what the revolution was started. Okay, and finally in 19th century, what the industrialization was also happened in Europe, in England, as well as through the industrialization process. Okay, many people from different continent, okay, from Africa, from Asia, they were migrated to what Europe. Okay, and So this type of what lack of food grains as well as industrializations. Okay, every European nations they were tried to make themselves as a superior power of the Europe. That's why what the First World War, which was took place in 19th century, it was started in 1940 and ended with the year of 1980. Okay, and as well as what after that the technological transformation was happened and modern machinery weapons were invented, and this caused, you can say, the Second World War, which was started in 1939 and ended in 1945. Okay, and to after that the to fulfill the, you can say, losses of past war. Okay, the international institution like what IMF and World Bank were established, and who controlled the IMF and World Bank? The USA, the United States of America. Okay, so after that in our next class we will discuss about the rest of the portion of our chapter. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.